Hello, this is RSN8887, and today I want to show you one of my favorite Commodore 64 games that I love since my childhood. It's called Nebulus. Nebulus on the Commodore 64. My goal here is to play it on the MiSTer FPGA with my Competition Pro joystick and Ultra Short Throw joystick without any cheats or trainers. I've practiced the game for a while now, and I think I am able to beat it. I've beat it 2 times recently. I've beat it once this week and then again yesterday. I'm loading the G64 game, which makes a horrible sound while it's loading because of the copy protection, so I will turn the sound off for a second. So, as a kid, I could never finish this game, but now it's possible. I just practiced for a couple weeks now, for 2 weeks. Look at this wonderful title screen, Nebulus. You can see the submarine in the foreground, the little towers in the background. They are the towers that you have to climb in this game. The game was published by Fusion. It came out in 1987 by John M. Phillips. JMP. He made a bunch of really cool games. And here it is. JMP 1987. As I said, as a kid, I could never finish the 3rd level, so I will do a let's play today and see how far I can get. The goal of this game is to climb these towers with this little character called Pogo. Look at how cute he is with his nose when he turns around. The animations, his eyes are moving when he walks. The way he walks into this door. And of course, the big selling point of this game was this 3D tower rotation effect. You can see it here when I move around the tower. It is all rotating in such a cool way. The game is programmed so perfectly, so well done. I can shoot the enemies, I can jump, I can engage elevators by pushing up and down. And I have a time limit. That's very important. Up there is a time limit, and I have to reach the top of the tower before the time limit is over. Otherwise, I lose a life and have to restart. Look at these animated enemies. The eye is opening and closing. The ball is flickering a little bit as it moves. You know, like there's a little bit of light on it. Here, there's a little light effect, highlight effect on the enemies. Notice here, there's a platform that pushes me back like a conveyor belt. And the game is like a puzzle platformer, basically. It is full of traps that you have to learn by dying and then memorize. Here, for example, these platforms will vanish under me. Now up there, there's an enemy which moves left and right. I will just try. Okay. The enemies have persistence in this game, so even when the enemies are not on the screen, they will continue moving, and you can use that for the timing. Notice how this eye here on the right, this purple eye is moving around the tower in a realistic way, and the enemies bounce off platforms and other obstacles as well. So in this game, we have enemy permanence. Even when they are not on screen, the enemies are moving. There is emergent gameplay because enemies bounce off platforms, elevators, and other enemies. Oh, this is gonna be close. I have 3 seconds left. Look at this. I'm not gonna make it. But that's okay. I will just try again. I will try to explain the game as I go, so it's probably okay to see the first level a little bit longer. So, another feature of this game is that the tower, it's full of gameplay elements. The tower is not just a gimmick, because the tower looks great graphically, but it also does something. It causes the level to wrap around so that we have something like periodic boundary conditions in this game. So if I go very far to the left, I appear on the right again in a way, right? But in addition, the tower hides half of the platforms from you. So, because they're behind the tower. So this is a game with periodic boundary conditions where you, if you exit the right, you come back in on the left. But in addition, half of the platforms are always hidden from you because they are behind the tower. So I think it's not enough to just say, well, the tower is a nice graphical effect, but it does nothing for the gameplay. It is actually important because it has this effect of hiding platforms from you. And it also is great for the experience because you discover new things as you go around the tower, because new platforms will be visible. And so it adds to this kind of mystery, right? You want to understand what's behind the tower, what's in front, how does it all work? Now I finally finished the first level. Now there's a beautiful bonus sequence. Oh, I'm using the wrong joystick port, accidentally pressing pause in this bonus sequence. There we go. Here I have to shoot these fish and collect as many as I can. I'm just looking at the recording if it's going okay. Okay. This little bonus sequence is I think is a very nice change of pace, and if you play well in it, you will get bonus lives, right? Because of points. I already just got 1 bonus life. Now I'm in the second tower. The color is different. The enemies are different. They're animated differently. And here's again an example of one of these enemies that goes around this tower in such a nice way. The controls in this game take a lot of getting used to. There are some quirks. For example, when I'm close to the edge of a platform and turn around, I will fall down, you see, because he turns around and he loses his grip with his feet. So that's something you just have to practice a little bit so that you don't fall off the platforms all the time. Then, every 10 seconds or so, but not consistently, so every couple seconds, this enemy comes in with this warning sign, this boo-doo-boo. And you just sometimes have to wait for these enemies to pass. This forces you to sometimes just wait for a while. You don't want to be on the same height as this enemy that comes in from the side. So, and it's not easy to just jump over it. It's usually not possible to just jump over it. So you just kind of time your movements, keeping in mind that these enemies appear all the time. Here is a beautiful example again how enemies are moving around this tower and bouncing back and forth. Also, notice the doors and the platforms, how they are moving to create this illusion of the 3D tower. Especially the doors are done in a really nice way. The way they kind of become smaller and smaller as they get closer to the edge of the tower. I think I'm getting into the groove. I was a bit out of my groove there in the first level. You could see I lost so many lives. This is one of the games I like because you can, this is my kind of style of game because you can just learn it by heart. It's one of those games that you can just memorize. As a kid, this was the furthest I could go. Trap of Tricks. This is the first level where the ingenious level design in this game becomes apparent. So this is called Trap of Tricks, and it's full of neat ideas. For example, here there is an elevator with a wall above it with a ceiling, which will kill you. So you have to go through this door, and now this is where I got stuck as a kid. And I don't use solutions or anything. So there's no way to continue here. And I couldn't get past this. I thought this is a bug in the game. And this is where a friend came in. So I had a friend as a kid, and this friend told me to continue in this level, you have to force yourself to get hit by the enemy that comes in from the side. What an ingenious level design idea. See here, I forcefully, on purpose, let myself get hit, fell down on the platform below, and now I can continue in the level. So the name Trap of Tricks is really accurate for this level. So my friend helped me with that, and then as an adult, I was able to get much further in the game than as a kid. I don't know why, but this game seemed impossible to me as a kid. It is not that hard. It just requires a bit of memorization and practice. So when I'm playing now, I'm just using the way through the game that I figured out myself. So if you're a speedrunner or something, you are probably shaking your head and thinking, what is this guy doing? This is not the optimum path, but it's just the path that with trial and error, I found out my own path through this game, and that's the path I will use today. Since I refuse to watch videos of other people playing through it. So, just yesterday, just a couple days ago, I finished it for the first time. So this was the Trap of Tricks. Now I have the chance again to get lots of bonus. And I should mention that this game runs really smooth in 50 FPS. My stream is not smooth because my capture card captures in 60 Hz. Slippery slide. Every tower has a different color and a different theme. So here there's a lot of platforms where you, like conveyor belts, where you are moved like this, right? If you don't move, the platform will move you backwards. That's why it's called slippery slide. And it also has the color of oil, right? This brown color, kind of oilish color. Oh, there was one of those traps. The game is full of these traps. Now I have to go in the door again. So sometimes this helps to use a door to avoid that enemy that comes in from the side. It comes in all the time, and the more you play this game, I've practiced this basically my whole life, right? So I'm kind of familiar with the fact that these enemies come in from the side all the time, and that sometimes you just have to wait for them. And a door helps, a door helps. You see, if there's a door, now I can wait, and then I go through the door, and that's one way to avoid hitting this enemy. Whoops. I should watch my time. And see, jumping over this enemy doesn't usually work. I mean, sometimes you're lucky, depending on the height of it, but I would say that's one of the hardest parts of the game, because it's a bit unpredictable, is this enemy with the alarm that always comes in. Here's another really cool thing. Notice now that the elevator is up, this blue enemy with its beautiful animation there was bouncing against the elevator. So by moving elevators, I'm actually changing the paths that the enemies take, right? Because they will bounce off. That's what I meant with emergent gameplay in this game. Here, the enemies bounce off each other, right? Creating less predictable movements. 30 seconds. I have to wait for an enemy here. The other, on the left, there's a trap. I can't get here. I have to do this. And here we are. This was level 4. I think the game has 9 towers. And notice, you know, I got a few extra lives already, so I think I have a chance. Let's catch some fish to get more life. More points. And then we will see, you see the color of the tower is already visible here. And now we see the map. 4 towers left, and notice that in the map, the towers have different heights. It represents the actual heights of the towers. This is also hard. This is a trap. The elevator goes up here, but there's nothing you can really do on this level. You have to go one higher. This is the first time that you encounter in the game an elevator which has 2 possible final destinations. I can go up 1 or again up 2. You know, if figuring this game out, it's it's like a puzzle, you know, you think, how can this be? And then you suddenly realize, what? There's a new gameplay element here, an elevator that can be moved upwards twice. Here are some difficult jumps. The game has a funny jumping mechanic. Sometimes you do not want to jump at the last possible time, but you rather want to jump in the middle of a platform. I can show this here, because here there is a ceiling, so I want to jump kind of in the middle of the platforms. It's just a matter of how you time your jumps. And then I have to fall down onto the elevator here. I went the wrong way. I should have remembered that. On that elevator, you want to go to the left. So I have to repeat my path. Retrace my steps. Here we go. This enemy is going all around the tower. Keeps going around the tower. How cool. I love how that looks. And now it bounced off the elevator. That's so cool. You see, this is not obvious, but here you had to go to the left. I mean, most of the time you're in a new tower, you know, you're wondering. You only have usually two choices, right? You can go left, right. Maybe sometimes there's an elevator and that's it. So you can, that's what I meant. You can just learn it by heart. Here I have to jump from the middle of the platform. Otherwise I would fall back down, slide off the target platform. Ah. Now my time is getting short. This is already one of the harder towers. Well, let's see if I can make it. Okay. So sometimes in this game, enemies just vanish. I think it's when they kill you a few times, but I'm not quite sure what causes the enemies to vanish sometimes. Or maybe when you made it past them a few times or so. I don't know, but it helps. It certainly helps. I only have 23 seconds left. I might not make it on this try. So the jump went well. These enemies going up and down also sometimes bounce off the other enemy. Okay, we have a beautiful staircase with many doors here, which I think just looks fabulous. All the doors changing their perspective. Now I died. Okay, try again. Broken path. Second try. Go up twice. This might be one of the first puzzle platformers I ever played. And it's such a great one to start. It's programmed so perfectly. Nothing flickers, nothing... There's no imperfections. Everything is so professionally done. Yeah, the way all the enemies move, right? There's basically almost no slowdown. Sometimes there's a little bit of slowdown in later levels, but it's almost not noticeable. Ah. There you could see how I slid off the platform. That happens, you know, if you close to the edge, you turn around and you slide down. You slip off platforms sometimes. Just makes the game a bit harder. Okay, these jumps then fall down, then go up. Remember to go left. Oh, I forgot to clean off that obstacle there. Wait. How is that done? Let's see. Oh, here? Oh no, yeah, with the jumps. Now, this is a nice part too. You have to shoot at just the right time here. It helps to play on the MiSTer FPGA because there's no lag, especially for the jumps and timing of the shots. Any input lag will make the game quite a bit harder. So here we go. This is one of those difficult jumps. And here are these enemies that bounce up and down. Here we go. That was good. Now I have a good chance of making it. And I already got 4 lives again because of the points. There's an enemy from the left. And these bouncing enemies just require a bit of timing. There we go. I did it. One of the harder towers finished. I love this game so much. Catch some fish, a chance to win extra lives. The parallax scrolling here, wonderfully done. It's just a bit of relaxing time here. Now the blue tower. Cyan Tower. Swimmer's Delight. Swimmer's Delight, I should mention that. So most people who play this game will get really frustrated early on in the game because when you die close to the water here, right? Because when you get hit by an enemy, you will fall down a bit. But if you're close to the water, you will just fall into the water, lose lives immediately. But once you make it up the tower a bit further, then you stop losing lives so quickly, because you will just fall down, but you won't lose a life when you get hit by an enemy. So the beginning part of every tower tends to be the hardest part, because you are close to the water and you run the risk of dying so quickly. And I think this is an extra frustration that people face when playing this game, when learning it first, because that's your first experience, falling into the water all the time and dying. But once you make it up a bit higher onto a tower, you'll notice you don't die much anymore. You mostly just die because you run out of time, but it's much less of a threat once you're a little bit away from the water. So another way to think of it is when I play the game, I always try to get up away from the water as fast as possible. See here, I got hit by an enemy, but I didn't die because there was no water. The timing here is a bit random, so even with 2 enemies, sometimes this timing is hard. 3 is even harder. Here I have to jump at the very edge of the platform because of the way the ceiling is positioned. And now I have to push the fire button many times to jump up this tall stairs. I did it. I think the tower was realized using character sets, character graphics here on the C64, but my own pogo sprite is actually using a higher resolution than the background. And then the platforms, I think the platforms in the tower are placed... Oh, there's the yellow tower. Second to last tower. Nasty one. This took me forever to figure out. Don't go left here. I died many times going left. The correct way is go to the right. Go to the right. Then, here, this is tough. Go up. The elevator will be a barrier. Here, I can open some platforms. Then I have to jump at just the right time. Too late. This enemy is going around the tower, but also bouncing off. Jump at just the right time to go up here. Clear this brick. Go up here. And you know, why is this hard? Because all of this is happening close to the water. Very close to the water. Now I have a bit of breathing room. I'm away from the water. I'm gonna clear this, go up here. These enemies all go around the tower. I made a mistake. This enemy up there, I have to wait a little bit. Here, I have to wait. Now I have to wait until this enemy changes direction. Go right behind it. These are all traps. Go up. Hide underneath, go up, hide underneath. These are not traps, so I can use them to hide. This is a tough one. I think this might be the toughest tower in the whole game. Here, I figured out that I should use the last elevator first. This is just my way of finishing this puzzle, because it allows me to clear some of these platforms here. And by jumping, and then I do the second elevator from the last, by jumping, I can prevent the diagonal fall. Normally I fall diagonally, like that, right? But when I jump in the right way, I can instead force myself to go straight down, to fall down straight. That helps sometimes. I'll show you in the next tower. I did it. I finished Nasty One. This is the second to last tower. I got a bunch of extra lives again, so just another life again. I have 7 lives now, and I'm at the last tower of the game. So Nasty One I couldn't finish. This last 2 weeks was actually the first time in my life that I finished Nasty One by just practicing and trying out different ideas. So I'm not very good at the last tower, but I have so many lives, I think I can do it. This is the last one. Edge of Doom. It is white. I love that the height of the towers and color of the towers is represented in those little, in that little map. And also just the fact that every tower has its own gameplay ideas and level design ideas and its own color. There's a lot of variety in this game. I mean, the basic gameplay is the same, but every tower feels really like a different idea and different design. Here, I have to use this trick that I jump to fall straight down. Otherwise, I would fall diagonally and fall to my death there. That is actually, when I learned about that, I figured that out on this tower because I thought, I always fall diagonally. What can I possibly do? And then a couple days ago, I figured out, I have to jump to keep myself from falling diagonally. And then I realized I can use that technique in the other towers as well. For example, I just used it in Nasty One in that other tower as well, because it helps to control the way you fall in this game. Here, for example, I jump like this, so I fall straight down. This took me a while to figure out. I think it goes, we have to go here. And now there's another elevator. It took me forever to figure out where I have to push up again. Just ignore that previous stop. Ignore the stop. Just go up. This guy. That was tough. I love the enemy persistence. I made a mistake. I was impatient. Let's do this correctly. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, it is. Oops. You see, now these enemies are gone. I'm not sure why they are gone now. It just happens sometimes. Ugh, I'm at the very beginning of the game, of the tower. But I still have 90 seconds, so in principle I have a chance. I have a chance. I mean, it's not an easy game. "68 seconds. Maybe I can make it." I forgot. I think I have to go here. Yeah, and now there's this where I have to ignore this stop, go one stop higher, but now do this correctly here. I have to do this correctly. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, now I can remove this obstacle, and I'm getting close to the end of the last tower in this game. I can't believe it. If I can finish it today, this would be the 3rd time in my life that I finished this game. No! I should have known that. I should have remembered that. 30 seconds. That's not it. Not enough time, I think. There's too much stuff going on here. Oh, no. Oh, 19 seconds. Well, at least I can use this life to help myself remember what happens up there. Because here, this is... Okay, for sure, I should have shot. I forgot that. And then I need to... okay, I need to do the jump trick there. Okay, jump and then let myself fall down. Because the diagonal fall will kill me. Oh, what am I doing? See, now these enemies are gone. They just vanish sometimes. Don't ask me why. Maybe the game has some hard-coded conditions. When do certain enemies vanish? That was close. So this tower is the first one, I think, where you have to use this trick to control your jumping, your falling, to force yourself to fall down straight by jumping here. So when you first play this game, a lot of levels seem impossible. Here again, 3 enemies with weird timings, but it is possible. Just have to time it. Here we go. And then, of course, I love these enemies, how they are animated. Then, of course, you have to do it again, right, from above. Oh, that was a mistake. I didn't clear the platforms. Have to restart. Try that again. I need to clear those platforms. How did that work? I forgot something. Oh yeah, of course. I have to shoot here, clear the obstacle, go through the door again to let this enemy pass. And now I have cleared the other elevator. Now I can go up here. This looks good. This is looking good. I like how the game plays with sound as well, because the little alarm that you hear, this bleedoo bleed bleedoo, is important. Oh, that might be good. That is good. Because it alerts you that this enemy will come from the side. Here we go. Very good. So you can use the sound as well to get an early warning. Look how many lives I have. This is all just from score. These are extra lives I got just from getting points. Here we go. Now I forgot it again. Let's do it. The good thing is once a platform vanishes under you. No. Once it vanishes, then it's gone, right? So 35 seconds. Most of the enemies have disappeared. What? I was too impatient. Okay. 15 seconds. I might need another try on this. Yeah. I am running out of time again. Because I made a mistake there. Yeah. Okay, try again. I still have some lives, so... I figured that out somehow. At one point I decided, what if I just run through those 4 enemies really quick, and it worked. Oh. And notice my little pogo sprite, right? I think I mentioned it already. It's using a higher resolution than the rest of the game. You can see that the pixels on my eyes and my legs and my tail are smaller than the pixels of the rest of the game. So that's something the Commodore 64 could do. It had like 2 different resolutions. Like most of the pixels usually are in its colorful graphics mode are wider than they are tall, but that's not the case for my little pogo sprite. And these kind of programming tricks are used in such a nice way here in this game. It's basically a timeless look, right? It's a really stylish look, just the way the platforms are shaded and how everything looks. I feel like it has aged very well. Huh? Yeah, where am I? Oh yeah. The sequence of jumps. You know, I just have to wait. Yeah, I can't do it. Try again. I should only focus on the last 2. No. I'm losing way too much time here. Okay. It's okay to lose some time here if I can make up for it later. This is a good time. No. Oh, the last tower is not easy. Okay. Oh. As I said, I play without cheats or anything. I'm not looking up solutions or anything either, so... I will just play as far as I can get. Oh. Those high jumps are also tough to do. Because you can't do them when you are close to a big step. Okay. You have to step a bit away from the big jump. I don't use save states either, so when I practice this game, I forced myself to start over. Whenever I'm game over, I just really actually start over. And that means that I didn't get that much practice time with this last tower, since I just recently got there for the first time. So if you practice a lot, then some of these towers you can almost play almost blindfolded. Right? This is a good sequence. Yeah, no. The last one killed me there. And now if I turn around, I will die. Ah. There's nothing I could do. Okay. I'm losing a lot of lives here. I only have 4 lives left now. But that's another thing, that if you start playing this game, you might not realize that the game does give a lot of extra lives. Again, also making it easier later on than you might think, because you do get those extra lives. At least if you kill, if you capture a lot of fish in the bonus sequence. So I think this is a good timing. Yeah. No. But that was almost it. Ah, okay, next try. So I think I just have to wait a little bit more. For these enemies there to just have the right timing in their motion that I can get past. The right pattern. Movement pattern. Okay. Those big jumps I have to do by pressing the fire button while I move. Okay, here we go. No. I waited 1 second too long. 2 lives left. I have to concentrate. Okay. That was good. See, I have to get away from the water. See how many lives I lost because I was always dying here close to the water, and then lives go away really fast. That's not a good timing, or is it? No. Let's wait. This pattern. No, that's not a good pattern. Let's see. I want that one to go first. No. Yeah, now it's getting better. Okay, I will try. Yeah. No. Last life. Okay. Now let's look for a good pattern. Maybe it just means I have to go fast here, because the first few tries it worked well. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Yeah. Maybe I just waited too long, because the initial pattern, when you just start the tower, is good. And then they kind of get out of whack. And I got an extra life. Cool. Go to this door. Don't forget. We move the obstacle. Now this jump from far back. Jump over here. This elevator. This is good. This is looking good. Clear the platforms. Go up. Ignore this stop. Go one higher. Make sure I clear this obstacle. And now I have to wait. That was my mistake last time. Now I can clear this obstacle. Go up. Yep. Yep. And now there was a vanishing platform here. I have to remember it. I remembered it. That was it. I forgot to clear that obstacle. I can't believe it. But that's okay. I can clear it now. I knew about that, but I forgot it. Wait, did I forget it again? No. Here it is. Clear this obstacle. Go up. Remember that is a vanishing platform, so do this. Use the jump trick. Go up. I think I did it. And here I already figured it out by trial and error. The last door is not it. The second to last door is it. The last door just turns you around and lets you fall down. I finished Nebulus. Wow, I think I got an all-time high score. I never got such a high score before. 72,725. It's done. What a wonderful game. Congratulations, player one. You have completed your mission. Here's my high score. 72,725. Definitely not my best high score yet. RSN. That was it. Awesome. Well, I hope I could convince you that Nebulus is not that hard. Yes, it's hard, but it's doable without cheats, without trainers. You can finish it, just a bit of practice. And I hope you agree with me that this is a wonderful puzzle platformer that has aged very well. And it looks awesome, it plays awesome, it's programmed perfectly. I just love it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.